Welcome to the Wellness on Tap podcast with your host, Dr. Debs Eastwood.
The leaflet that came to me was about you and Ree and putting together something called Wow.
Are you recording now?
So we'll talk about that first, if that's all right.
Would you like to talk about the Wow Gathering first, or would you like to know how that came about?
Ooh, which is the best way for you to tell it?
Actually, now you've said that, I'll just go with what you've
Whatever
said. Let's do it the other way around instead of like having it linear. You know, let's
kick it
let's
up.
Let's be a rebel. So the Wow Gathering, Women Only Wellness Gathering, is a gathering for predominantly, it's a business model for business women to showcase their ways to well-being. It's in a field near North Allerton, and it's a campsite. So you have the showers there, and it's set up with electricity points. It has 3 pods there as well. We'd like to have more, but we have 3 at the moment. We have bell tents that are ours that we've been getting sponsorship for.
Brilliant.
So that women can stay overnight, and then at the same time it helps us be sustainable. We have a sunset ceremony on the Saturday night. So it's on a hill with a stone circle. Oh. So it's not, I know, every time I say it, I can't believe how lucky we are. Like, every year I look forward to this.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It also keeps me going, knowing that every year I'm going to see all these women that I've befriended and who are getting so much support from this gathering and throughout the year.
Wonderful.
So I might jump about a bit because of my ADHD, but honestly, I'll come back to some of my conversations with other neurodivergents are like, the other day I was having a conversation with a lady, and we were just walking through the park, and we were both ADHD. So it was like, right, okay, so I'm going to jump to this one, jump to that. It's like, okay, I'll remember that one. I know you're going to come back. I know there's a reason why you're going roundabout. So the circle with the stones on has been there for a lot of years, but they're not Neolithic stones,
right.
But apparently they're on ley lines.
Beautiful.
So when you go up onto that stone circle, the spiritual shifts, I can't explain. And the views are amazing as well. So you have Rosebery Topping to the right, and it's just views for miles. It's just, sometimes I go up there and I just sit, especially when everybody's in their workshops. I'll go and I'll have, because it takes a lot of energy all year to create this.
Yeah, for sure.
And for it to, and organisations, organising the actual event. So when the event comes and they're all in their workshops, because there's lots of workshops all day, it's all quiet. It's all in like bell tents and tents, or I don't know, in the teepee, because we have a teepee as well. And I go to the top of the circle and I go, wow, which is why it's called, we have wow moments, which is why it's called wow as well. And it's like, wow, look at this. Like, this is just amazing. I can't.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And the women who go all say, we have lots of testimonies about it, and all the women who go say, my life has been transformed. This has happened. This shift has happened. I didn't think it was going to. I was really worried about coming on my own, but then everybody was so lovely because the women who go there are all, it's like finding your tribe.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot about sisterhood out there, isn't there? And a lot of women are quite scared, who I've spoken to, about being in a group with a lot of women. Some have never been in a group with just women. And they're like, oh, I don't know about that, or I don't know how I feel about that. Because their experiences have not been what you're about to experience in the Wow Gathering. And we wouldn't have it any other way. And the ones who don't want to come, who don't want to do that, don't come anywhere.
Yeah, precisely. They self-select.
Yeah, so it's and during the year we have a group, Women Only Wellness Gathering group. So part of the business women showcasing their ways to well-being, we showcase them on the group as well, which is the website, which is the Facebook group. So they'll all year they will be able to post what they're doing. So say they have, I don't know, Kundalini. This particular facilitator will, every time she's got something going on, like a gong ceremony, or she'll post it on there.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So she's targeting her audience as well, and it's what the women want. So you're not left after the wow gathering. You're creating relationships all the way, every day, talking. Sometimes about silly things on, just having fun, and talk about, are we feminists? I suppose we are, but it's not that. Some people have said, it's a women-only wellness. What about the men? And it's like, well, you do have your spaces, and all we're asking for, not all we're asking for. This is a thing we don't need permission. What we are doing is we're having a weekend away with the women. It's amazing, and you get some men who are like, don't understand that, but then there's a lot who do, and they're our male allies who are amazing, and I think the purpose of it is as well is a lot of women have gone through trauma. Everyone's got a story of some sort.
Haven't we all? Yes.
And just for a weekend, if that's all you need, once a year, just to process some of your emotions, heal, connect, go to workshops. I mean, there's so many ways. And I think, so I'm a co-founder of this, of the Women Only Wellness Gathering, and my partner is a retired police officer called Ree Pearson. So she was involved in the domestic violence units in the police. She is an advocate for women, and we set this up just so that we met through. I'd kind of done a taster session, and we met through that, through a friend who was a trustee of my charity. So I have a charity called TRAC, which is the Recovery Advocates and Consultants UK. Now, I've been running that for 11 years, and it morphed into a women's service pretty quickly. Even though, take it back further than that, when I was working in a men's prison on the therapy wing, as a 12-step therapist, I was like, we need something for women. And I just kept coming into my head all the time. It needs to be, and it's not hard for me to. I know you've got a proven need, but there is a need, and I know from past personal experiences that that's what's needed. And I don't feel like there's enough of it. And we have so many barriers to healing. Okay,
general life often is a barrier in itself, isn't it?
So myself and Ree met. So I'll go back to the Women Only Wellness Gathering is, yes, for business women to showcase their work. They pay us to facilitate, and then that money goes to our charities. So Ree has got a community interest company called Be Kind, No Excuses. And that is targeted at teenage girls to look for the red flags in abusive relationships. Because there's patterns.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that all women, I mean, have we all been in, a lot of women have been in abusive relationships of some sort. It comes in different guises. I'm not saying it's the other way around, but I'm talking, because it is, but I'm talking specifically about women.
Yeah.
And yeah, sorry, I was just thinking about something we had said there, because she's very, about men and women and the violence, and but I won't go off track right now. I'll probably go back to that.
That's fine.
But there was a lot of what was I saying?
You were saying about the young people's, the red flags,
yeah,
and Ree's charity.
So yeah, maybe like if I was like a 16-year-old or 15-year-old, 12-year-old even, and I had an abusive relationship or was about to have one, would I have seen the red flags then? No, because I didn't know about them. But if I did know about them, maybe I would have listened. Maybe I wouldn't. But at least there's something there, because for me, there's no point in society saying that women should be educated, or this is people, but we're talking about women, and you must get this A level and that A level, and go and do your degree, go and do your masters. What good is all that if it gets totaled and destroyed by a relationship that's toxic? Because that stays with you for years. There's a lot of healing that goes with that, and you might never get back on track. So isn't it about I mean, Ree's going to ask that question at this parliamentary session that she's going to, and the question is like, what are you going to do about that? You know, because there's not enough education around domestic violence, substance misuse, domestic violence leading to substance misuse. So the pair of us...
And vice versa, I guess.
And vice versa. And can you see how it's all interacting between what me and Ree do? And then the difficulty of getting funding over the years. Creating our own wellness gathering, which has taken a lot of years to even think about where we were going to go and how it was going to happen. But I'm a big believer in, if people say, have you got a business plan? It's like, not really. Not really, no. I just know that this is needed. And it, like you said before, it just happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. If it's meant
if
to
it's
be,
needed,
yeah.
it does. Because people go, I need that, and that's what's happening.
Yeah. So at the gathering then, it says for a couple of days in a fabulous location, outdoors, so that everybody can be grounding and connecting with nature, which is just wonderful, isn't it? What sort of workshops could somebody expect that was going there?
Okay, so there's workshops that I couldn't even tell you what they are. This is the thing, there's so many. But I will say there's like drumming circles. Oh, I just love that. There's something so tribal and so grounding, and the music, drumming circles, gongs.
Wonderful.
Like at the ceremony we have, over the last couple of years, there's always been a gong at the top in the middle of the stones.
Wow.
And the sun's setting, and all of the women are together in a circle at the top of the hill, just being like unity. So drumming, maybe Reiki, maybe stalls with selling jewellery, like these stones and
lovely.
You know what I've got on, and beads. And what else is there? Poetry as well, journaling. This is really funny. I don't know what to say this, but there's a craft tent, and we crochet vaginas.
Wow.
I know. And then they put them all around the tent like that, and that sounds really weird, I know, but it was really good fun.
Yeah.
Because I think it's about just not having the barriers. You know, you've heard of these things where women are kind of painting or skinny dipping, where there's like, let's just go that step further. Let's just like stop all of this worry about what we're doing. Just try and go beyond fear and just become your authentic self.
Yeah.
It's without all of these society telling you what you can do, what you can't do, what you can say, which is definitely big for women as well, isn't it? And how we need to be a certain way. And if we're any different, then we're rebellious, or we're burnt at the stake as a witch.
Absolutely. That happened to me at the Tower of London.
What happened?
Going round there with my kids, do you know what I mean?
Right.
And you go through the different rooms that tell the story in the sort of Middle Ages.
Yeah.
And they pull people out at random from the audience to take part, and they pulled me out to be burnt at the stake.
I definitely was burnt at the stake.
Which I thought was hilarious.
I've even got a tattoo here, look. So that's... And she's not a witch, is she? She's a woman. A woman who has a voice and was probably a healer.
Yep.
And she was burnt at the stake, and then she's smoking a cigarette. So basically saying, like, fuck you.
Yeah. Nice. So all sorts of things that... It sounds like these workshops are quite diverse, which is exactly what you need, isn't it? Because there is no one size fits all, is there?
And that has come from, so I'll go back a bit. So that's come from, so I'm in recovery from drug addiction and alcoholism. And I'm 16 years in recovery now.
Congratulations.
Recovered. I don't care, as you know, I don't believe in people putting you in boxes. So my experience is that when I found recovery, I know again I'm not going into the past too much, but when I found recovery, yes, it was a 12-step meeting that I found, and I'm really grateful for that. Like I really am, because it's a great grounding, educational lifesaver, yeah. And I was in there for quite a lot of years. I still have it tattooed on here, your will, not mine, sort of kind of stepping out your own way. But there was no other option for me at that time but to go into that 12-step programme. And during the time that I was in that program, I saw a lot of women come and go. There's a lot in there. There's a lot more men, I would say. But it's a male-founded program as well. And I think what I'm trying to say is that although it's amazing and there's a lot of things, I believe in choice. Yeah. Because for some women, they'll go into those rooms and they'll say, it's not for me, I don't like it. Or they feel intimidated by the male presence, right? And obviously, men and women, you know, we I think the ultimate is living together and we'll all be happy ever after. But I think there's a lot of healing on both sides. And this is why I think that women-only safe spaces are really important. I'm not saying that mixed aren't important.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I believe that we should, especially the trauma side, because so in my addiction, there's been a lot of not knowing myself. You know, and I hear a lot of women saying, it being easily led by men, being told that, because I had a child, being told that if I went to get help from services, that they would take my child off me. You know, that in itself would stop me.
Yeah.
Domestic abuse. As soon as you go into the services, and it has to be that way within the services, that they'll say, apparently, then they'll say, like, you know, okay, so what's your drug of choice? So, you know, they have assessments. But in that assessment is who's got the children. And I understand safeguarding.
Yes.
Of course. But what does that do to that lady in a lot of the cases? They ain't coming back because they're so scared that you're going to take the child off them.
Yeah.
Sever the child off them. And it is that serious. So where is this long-term keeping the child with the parent and keeping it all together? I understand that in some cases it is really important to you know, it's gone far and the children are, you know, need to be removed or whatever, and I get that.
Yeah. There are times it's the safest and the best thing to do. Hopefully, temporarily, the situation will resolve. But
and I'm going to be bold about this because I was listening to a podcast on the way here and it was about being like 50. Now I'm not giving a shit about what I say. Mind you, I never have done because it's how I see it. It's my truth and it's my experience and no one can take that away from me. No matter how people can wrap it up saying, well, this isn't the case and we've tried to do this and do you know what? No, that's not my truth. And when I speak to a lot of other women who've been in my situation, and another woman who's a professor called Dr. Sue Robson, who has a place called Tina's Haven, her daughter, it was about her daughter dying of drug addiction and children getting taken away. And there's so many women involved in that they're failing to realise like how destructive that is. And the only thing that, when that happened to me, I was in front of the social services, the police. I had a violent relationship at the time. I didn't have a good relationship with my mum. All of these things I'm just saying are fact.
Yes,
right? For whatever reasons, that's what was happening at the time. And I felt while I was in those meetings that I had no voice.
Okay.
That was very vulnerable. No one cared about my opinion at all. But the social services really do care about what people think about them and what they're having to do, and they have to make sure that they're ticking their boxes. So if my mother decides to step up and say, I'll take the child, and I can bring that child up, then that was okay with them. And I was left to, and I really cannot remember getting offered any support. It was a case of, do you know what, I'm just going to take more drugs. Now I'm not a mother anymore. Now I don't have an identity. So now what do you expect me to do?
Now I don't have anybody to try and stay clean for.
You've just taken everything away from me as if I don't matter. I'm a drug addict and I should be like cast to the wayside. As long as you've ticked your boxes, that's all that matters, isn't it?
I'd never thought about it like that before. And now you're talking about it, it is such an obvious thing. Yeah. And
it's hard, isn't it, to get you... It's really hard because was I ever going to get well off drugs? Who knows? But was there any proper interventions around that? Was there any support in me? I didn't see that. So that's how I see it.
So am I right in thinking that clearly you didn't see them, but that places do exist where mum and child/children can go together for mum to get some treatment, child to be have its needs met?
Yeah, there is. I had no idea at the time. I didn't even know recovery existed at the time. I had no idea. So what's really, addiction can happen to anybody, and there's a lot of stigma, especially as women again, because we're the carers. Who would choose drugs over their child? Only a wicked bad woman would do that. And it's so not, so not true. I've got a T-shirt that says, nice people take drugs too. Do you know, because it's society, it happens, and people tend to forget that alcohol is a drug. Yeah. Cigarettes is a drug. Yeah. Food is a drug.
You certainly with all the crap they put in it nowadays.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like so many things. Pornography. Yeah. Do you know, affairs, codependency. There's always something we're all disassociating from because of life. How brutal life can be, how beautiful it can be, but how brutal it can be. Yeah. And let's escape our feelings. Yeah. And so to judge somebody is probably the easiest thing to do, isn't it? But yeah, that's what kills people. Yeah. There's pain behind that. Yeah. Don't ask why the addiction, like Gabor Mate says, ask why the pain.
Yeah. Which was where I was sort of heading. And I only use the word brutal because you used it.
I just think it's a good word.
I think it's a good word. So did the brutality of life or the drugs come first for you, or were they fairly simultaneous? Or
I think, I mean, some people say it's not a drug problem, it's a coping with life problem. I think I'm a very empathetic person. I think I've got, believe it or not, high emotional intelligence, which makes me, I don't like saying the word sensitive, but yes, sensitive to lots of things around me. It's kind of like, it's brilliant in a lot of senses, but sometimes it can be a little bit of a disability. And then obviously as an adult, I've been diagnosed with ADHD. And now that makes sense. Being diagnosed with that, even though people who know me go, really? Like, we knew that. Yeah. Do you know, it's like...
surprise.
Yeah, it's not a surprise. It's like, but things are making sense now. Yeah. At school, and me always wanting to be like an entrepreneur and selling things and talking all the time in class and school not fitting in for me. Like, I was good at violin, I was really good at music, I was good at sports, at art. And then I moved schools to an academic school. And then I fell out of the way. I fell away from school, and I never really went. I didn't get any qualifications, and I was drinking a lot. My first encounter with alcohol was when I was 14, and I'd stole the babysitter's. I was babysitting at 14. I was babysitting, and me and my best friend thought it was a really, really good idea to raid the drinks cabinet. Thought, brilliant idea. So we did. And then we were like on the bridge in the village, just absolutely mortal. And you know what? I thought, God, that feeling is amazing. This is something that I just felt whole. I felt like it was something I've been looking for all my life.
That does sound pretty dangerous.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas years later when I spoke to people and they haven't got a problem with it, say, well, it never made me feel like that. Mm. You know, it wasn't like everything to me. And I think it's because I didn't, whether it was perceived that I didn't have love or I didn't, because I believe my mother wasn't capable of that at the time for whatever reason in her background, that gave me that love that I needed. Fair. And you're right, it's dangerous, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You were looking for a way to meet the needs that you had.
Yeah. And that did it really well.
And that did it.
And then it was just a career from there. Mm. But bear in mind at school as well, when the teacher asks you what you want to be when you grow up, I didn't say drug addict.
No, that would have been a surprise.
Do you know?
Think. Yeah.
People don't choose.
What did you want to do? Did you know what you wanted to do? Being you were arty and musical.
Funnily enough, yeah, I wanted to be a model. but I wanted to be 6 foot tall and I wanted to be on Vogue in the catwalks. So my mum had a fashion shop. So she used to get Vogue on prescription. Or Vogue. I'm going Vogue. That's my northern accent. And I would rip all the pages out and put them all over my wall.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have been a fashion designer, but I got taken out of that school. Oh. Otherwise, that's where I probably would have.
Yeah.
I would have gone that way. Like my niece is doing that right now. But everything for a reason. And so so that's what I wanted to be. And I thought one day I'll be able to stretch my body, that I'll have something that they'll put in a stretcher and then I'll be 6 foot and then I can go on the catwalks in London. That never happened. I'm sure they could do something like that.
Some great imagination as a
don't
kid,
we?
don't we?
But it made me miserable that I thought, God, if they don't, what am I going to do with my life? Do you know what I mean?
You were fixed that's what you wanted to do.
Fixed.
Wow.
So I've done bits of modelling, but it wasn't like catwalk London Vogue modelling. But then recently, I've just been in a small F entrepreneur IOSO 100 Small Business Britain cohort.
Okay.
So the other week I went down to London and I went to a Small Business Britain. It was at Arsenal Football Club, women's football. Because it's like empowering women and we can be who we want to be and then I got my photograph taken by a Vogue photographer.
Yes, yes.
I was like, never give up.
No.
Who would have thought all those years, I'm talking years later.
Yeah.
I was like, this has happened, so I'm waiting for this photograph to come. I'm going to plaster it everywhere.
Go, girl.
I will. So it'll be, if you ask me for a photograph, I'll go, there's my photograph. Hopefully it'll be nice.
Love it. If it comes before the podcast airs, send it me and I'll put it in the links.
I just think it's a good thing of the message is don't give up because you just do not know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like the relationship with my son, it's great. It's great. Nothing has been hidden from him either. And we're all right. It could have turned out so differently.
Yeah, couldn't it? There's a huge spectrum there of what could have happened, isn't there? Of course.
So going back to the women only wellness gathering, it's just absolutely amazing place to be, and we've kept the ticket prices reasonable so we can include all women, because some of these retreats that you see are quite expensive, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I can't afford them. Do you know, it's a lot of money, and how many people can leave? It depends what age group you are, I suppose, but leaving your business and leaving your children it can be quite expensive to go to these retreats, and it's another expense, which is a lot. So do it in the community if you want to, and stay the weekend if you want to. You don't have to. But I think it's just so beautiful that see all everyone thriving, and that's what it's about, unity, and everyone can have a piece of the cake. It's a community.
Do you get ladies there as well that come from the abusive background?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Thank you for that. That's what was on my mind. I was like, I need to say this. Yes. I mean, obviously you don't know who's been through what, do you?
Of course not.
You don't.
No, unless somebody chooses to speak.
But there's, we actively send letters to refuges and rehabs, women-only rehabs, and offer them half-price tickets, because a lot have funding. So we're like, well, if we just meet them halfway, then there's funding from the rehab to send the women over, and we'll go half-price tickets so that they can experience this. Last year, I was speaking to a girl, a young woman. We're doing a crafting session because I like to get involved. And because it's how you speak to people, the barriers come down. Yeah. And she was in a grooming gang. She'd been like, I won't mention names or anything, but it was part of a grooming gang anyway, and she's out of that now. But that was one of her only safe spaces that she could go that year, knowing that she didn't have to look over her shoulder.
Oh, bless her.
And it was so healing for her that she went, I'm going to bring some people, some of the women that I know next year. Was that okay? Of course it's okay. And this is the difference that place is making, and it's a third space. It's not it's not home life where you're so busy looking after everybody else, your work life where you're so busy doing things for other people.
Yeah,
it's about you and giving yourself permission to just have some time out.
That's wonderful. And I really like the fact that, obviously the attendees will each individually know their own backgrounds, but none of the others do. And it's then the individual's choice as to what they disclose or not,
Of course.
how they interact. And that's the way I see it, the way the diversity of what you offers really plays beautifully with their needs, doesn't it?
And we're looking for more bell tents. We're looking for more sponsors. The TP is funded every year by local pets because it's quite expensive for TP, and which helps us keep prices down as well.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely atmosphere with that. That TP is just a central point. It's just with a microphone and there's women we have fire and fire going on as well. Like it's not just a fireworking and glass walking. It's like a kind of ceremony. It's not weird or woo woo. It's just a lovely space.
Yeah.
It's just if you want to heal and you want to try and find ways to be happy.
Yeah. Because healing is a funny thing, isn't it? Even within ourselves, we need different approaches to heal different things.
Yeah.
Some of them might be, I'm going to call a counselling session, but some kind of talking, whether that be to, a stranger or structured or just to friends. Some of it might be having to really challenge yourself. Like you mentioned, fire walking and glass walking.
Yeah,
that's really challenging
it's beyond
yourself.
fear, isn't it?
Others is just letting go in nature and standing in a stone circle. And
oh, yeah.
there's so many.
Or just lie and look at the stars if you want to. You don't have to do a workshop.
Yeah. And music, like you say, you mentioned a couple of music things. That's so important, isn't it?
I love music in all different types of ways. I was even listening to some trance music and there's some like breathe in, breathe out trance. And I was like, wow, this is really good. But I also love going to the gong ceremonies and I went to one with a shamanic harp and a didgeridoo and God knows what else was going on. But and things that every time I do something like that, and what other women say as well, is there's a shift or there's something healed or like I've got an Irish wolfhound and it's my world. And I have animals in my life because that helps with my mental health most of the time.
And a dachshund, was it?
A dachshund.
Yeah.
She sleeps with me. She's like next to me all the time. I have Saluki Cross, a high energy rescue, but keeps me right. Like he looks into my soul. He's like, are you sure you're doing the right thing?
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? He's like, And then I've got the wolfhound who's just big, dozy, bloody, big-hearted, beautiful bear. Yeah. But he's over 10 now. So he's on heart medication and but he's my world.
Yeah.
And he's my ground. He grounds me even though I know that they don't live forever. And he's been through so much with me. But I went to the gong ceremony and it's a lot to cope with. And people who are animal lovers who've had elderly pets will recognise this. To know that every day is a blessing with him. Every day I have with him is a blessing. But that's hard to live with as well.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And that's what I'm living with on a daily basis. Ever since he got diagnosed with cardiomyopathy, which is the heart condition. And you don't realise until you can actually relax. And so I was at this gong ceremony. It was at Beamish Museum. It was beautiful. It was a bit like a Bridgerton thing. And I was like, because I was listening to the music, I was like, I can't relax, but I'm not feeling any shifts. Like some people have visions, some people have lots of different mental shifts, and I just wasn't. But I know that about myself. It happens during the week, during the months. And then like nothing happened. Then all of a sudden I got this overwhelming feeling and I was just like crying so deeply. And I think it must have lasted about a minute. And then it left. And that was about him. I'm not letting myself even grieve that he's got an illness.
Yep.
And that I can't even say the word, but I needed to heal.
Yeah.
And those spaces give you permission to do that. I don't like saying giving you permission, but give you the space to do that. Because otherwise it's trapped emotions inside. And this is going to come out physically, isn't it?
100%.
Right. And of course it does. Like I've just been about my back this morning and it's somatic. There's a little bit of arthritis. Yeah, I'm getting older, but there's nothing, it's more to do with, she said, it's my tension and my stress.
Yes. Yep, I 100% think that emotions have a significant role to play because they buy into our stress often, not always, but often, and stress makes our bodies sick.
Yeah.
A little bit of stress is good. Yeah. We need a bit of stress.
We do.
It motivates us, it gets us going, it gets things physically in our bodies moving around, all the chemicals and all the hormones and everything gets them all moving in, and we need it. But we need to be in charge of the stress and not it in charge of us, because that's where the problems lie, isn't it?
Totally. And the pain as well. I don't want to take medication. I don't want to take lots of painkillers. I want to be able to holistically deal with this. I'm not saying that it's possible for everybody.
No, of course you're not.
You know, and it isn't. Some people are in excruciating pain and they need to take something. But I feel like I have a choice. And with my addiction as well, I've got to factor that.
Yes.
Because I'm probably really going to like that pain relief. And maybe I could control it now, but I'm not going to take that risk.
No, I don't blame you.
Do you know?
Save it for an instance where maybe you have to.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. So cold water swimming helps, but I can't go to the beach every day. But that really, really helps with the parasympathetic system and the vagus nerve.
Yeah.
And it just calms my system completely, and the inflammation goes, and I'm just you could say anything to me and I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. Yeah, whatever. You know, that. But I just, if I can just ease into the pain now.
Yeah.
And go, it's okay, it's not that bad. Because my brain is telling me that it is, and it's trying to protect me. And when it's trying to protect me, it's giving me more pain. Right?
Somebody said to me, and it kind of works, because I did try it. When you get some pain, talk to it.
Yeah.
Ask it. Say, why are you there? What purpose are you serving? What are you trying to tell me?
Yeah.
And as a medic, people might look at me and think, are you off your nut, Dr. Eastwood? I'm like, well, no, because the body is a whole entity and we do not understand it all scientifically and clinically. And yes, I do not doubt for a second that there are types of pain that we need to intervene with. But how, what harm is it going to do if you say to yourself, come on then, pain, what are you all about? What do you need? What can I do? And sometimes that can just relieve the stress and the tension and ease the pain a little. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Well, our bodies produce chemicals, natural chemicals anyway for healing. And if I can go into the water and not take any drugs but come out and feel really good and the pain's, the inflammation has eased, then I didn't take any medication there. I took natural medication.
Yes.
I think there's a place for everything, isn't there?
Yeah.
But don't diss it, because there is a lot. I know science, is it science? And they'll say, well, we've come on a long way. We don't need. All right. So here's an example of that with my dogs. I went to see. He's called Dr. Love, and he's a cardiomyopathy, heart specialist for dogs, yeah. And when I was talking to other vets, I feed my dogs raw. So I've got a big freezer full of chicken. They eat amazing chicken, salmon, duck, rabbit. Do you know, it's all frozen. And I'll get kibble and I'll just mix a bit in, not loads, because there's a lot of protein and they can put weight on, but just a bit. And the vet's, oh no, we've come on a long way. Your kibble has all of that in it. You don't need to be doing that. It's really dangerous. I speak to Dr. Love and he's like, well, I just see nothing wrong with that. If they're thriving on that, what's the problem?
Yeah.
And then I said, and I get my kibble from Lidl. And he's like, absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that either.
No.
And he would be the one who to tell me different. And they're thriving. So there you go. So that's what I'm saying again. It's like get back to basics sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nature provides.
Absolutely. And if we provide our bodies with the nutrition that it needs, it's far better
Than popping a pill.
Yeah, it's far better than popping a pill, and the body, you are actually giving it the tools that it needs to heal itself.
Yeah. It's not hard, is it?
No.
Do you think it's a lot about, I mean, I'm just going to put this out there because you might.
Go for it.
I think it's a lot about money making.
100%.
You were going to say that, like money making.
100%. It's the money making from the food industry, from big pharma, how that all links in to the government of the country and the big businesses that are involved in both of those industries. And it goes all the way back, in my belief, to the education system and medicine. I'm not leaving any of them out. They're all guilty. They're all guilty.
They are.
You know, where we're told, you know, this is what you need to do and this is how you need to do it. I mean, when was it? Back in
Exactly.
In the post-war period, I mean, that was a very long time ago now, obviously. But that was when they turned the food requirements on the head.
All right.
And made it that, you know, your grains, your carbohydrates, your starches had to be the biggest thing on your plate.
Oh, okay.
Because that was what was more easily accessible and cheaper to produce. And that was all governed by companies, here we go, companies like Kellogg's and other big names. Sorry, Kellogg's, but I can't think of any more at the moment. But lots of other big food companies out there who could make an absolute fortune from selling people a product that no doubt they have curated and researched and think is wonderful. But in terms of what the human body needs for nutrition, it's shit.
Yeah. And the whole food industry is another thing, isn't it? And the psychology behind that. Mm. So what I've found is, so when I've had to work full time the last couple of years through a breakup, but my thinking is they exploit workers. So you're working, you're paying more tax, you're paying more, you know, you're working all of the time, you're stressed, you've got no time, you're going to the supermarkets, they're designed to make you buy all the rubbish. And the more it says, this is full of protein, the more it isn't. Do you know, there's like all of these things that you haven't got the time or the brain energy to even think about eating healthily half the time. Mm-mm. And they're just making money off you.
Yeah, and all this stuff about low fat is good for you. Well, excuse me, let's go back to, you know, thousands of years ago, before there were shops, you know, or populations that are still scattered around the world that have very little contact with the outside world and still live within their own environments.
Yeah.
They eat from the land. Mm-hmm. You know, they eat from what there is around them in their own environment. And
take what they need.
And take what they need and nurture the rest. Mm-hmm. Generally speaking, we don't see any of them being fat.
No.
We don't see any of them being tanked up on medications because they're providing their body natural
medication too.
Nourishment and seasonal nourishment as well. We don't have any seasons in our food anymore because our bodies need different things during the winter than what they need during the summer. And yet we are provided with everything all year round, pretty much. Bodies don't work like that.
But where's the education around that anyway? Where is there? People don't know. And then, you know, I do think things are expensive as well. It's easier to go in and, I'm not saying everything's gone up, but I don't know. I've seen these protein meals and it's just easy to get one of them for like £2.75, shot it in the microwave. That looks quite healthy because it's got a bit of chicken and a bit of rice in it. I don't know because I can't be bothered to just look at the actual back of it and I wouldn't know what half of it is anyway. Then if you're working and you've got no time, this is to source pure stuff and think about what I'm going to eat tonight and think about this. And this is where they get you. And it's but then we're suffering physically as a result of what we're putting in our bodies, and then that's more strain on the NHS and that's more strain on everything. So what is going on? Yeah. I think we need a reset.
I think if it was taught, if we were taught in schools the priority of being a human and functioning in the world above academic qualifications. If we were taught how our body actually uses food and therefore what we need to put in it, how to find those things, how to cook with those things, we wouldn't be in a place now, in my opinion, where we need so much medication and intervention, and we wouldn't be pummeling a shed load of money into big pharma and to these big food corporations that are just filling us full of E-numbers and preservatives. And, you know, you look on the back of a packet and there's like the top 2 ingredients are generally water and some kind of either sugar or synthetic oil.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, what does my body... Water, okay. Yeah. But the rest, what does my body need with that?
Like, so going back to the women-only wellness community, I mean, I'm talking about a snapshot of this because it's only for a weekend. But we all of us are saying, right, that we could live like that. We would, I mean, I know we have community, but I'm on about like, we could all, whenever you want to speak to somebody and there's all of these women around, I mean, I don't even know where men are fitting right now. I'm really sorry, men, but like, it's, so we're supporting each other. Do you know, like, I was even putting up this, I don't know if you've heard of a red tent. It's when years ago, women used to be sent to the red tent.
When they were menstruating.
Yeah. And they would be crafting and things. So a couple of years ago, we had a red tent. We just happened to get one of the pharma because he's really into the mental health on the men's side and really supportive. And he left it up, so we used it. And the tent was tied in knots, a knot that I had no idea what that knot was. And I always say the universe will put whatever the universe is to you, like it could be anything, nature, whatever your higher power is, you know. So puts people in my way, puts things in my way, and it's not coincidence. It 100% isn't coincidence. So I don't go, oh, I've just met this person, I might wonder why I'm meeting this person today. Yeah, there's something bigger in this. And so this woman walks past and I said, hey, you wouldn't know how to do this knot, would you? Of course I did. I was in the Girl Guides and I taught this and I did that and I did that. And of course I know how to undo that knot. I was like, of course you did.
Yep.
Of course you know.
Yeah.
And these are our wow moments that keep happening all the time and the stories underneath. But the community side of it, like there's always someone I can ask or speak to that will help in whatever way that they can, or, you know, just the healing, just the being there for each other, the unity.
Yeah. And that's the way it used to be, isn't it? Yeah. That's the way it used to be, isn't it? When we lived in tribes and, you know, smaller populations.
I hope so. I mean, not hope so. I think it was. There wasn't all of this just for me and this greed and this class system and not to the... I don't even know what else to say about it. It's just mad.
I mean, that's what we're always told, isn't it? That you know, the tribes were self-sufficient and people played to their strengths, whatever that might have been.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It might well have been traditionally that the men were the hunter-gatherers and the women, you know, did the childcare, and which is where our traditional values come from. But that's playing to a person's strengths. It's not about the gender as such.
Yeah.
It just happens that men tend to be stronger than women, generally speaking.
Yeah.
You know, and women tend to be better nurturers. But again, not all.
No, exactly.
You know? And there's no gender in a healer.
No, there isn't.
So, you know, that's my belief that, you know, we were all there as a community so that we could all play to our strengths for the strength of the tribe, for the strength of everybody, so that we all survived and we all did well. And now we're just put in little silos and kept apart, aren't we? Which is why your event...
We are kept apart, divided and conquer.
Yeah, that's why your event is so empowering, because people from different walks of life come together that have had different experiences and can each contribute different things, can provide their strengths.
Great way of putting it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that one. I'll use that one.
Feel free.
But it is, isn't it? Provide their strength. And, you know, they're celebrated. and we're it's not like, oh God, we're trying not to have this competition. It's like, brilliant, I'm getting celebrated, so we're going to celebrate you as well. And we're all going to celebrate each other.
Yeah.
And we're all going to rise together. And because there's enough food to go around. That's the idea.
Yes. Yeah. And
we're
if
trying.
And if there isn't, then we all go hungry.
Exactly.
Oh. Somebody said, I can't remember who said it. Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. That you have a seat at my table.
It's, if, we're not going to get on with absolutely everybody.
No.
So, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
So we just mutually go elsewhere.
Yeah. Which is why if there's a community, you feel free to go where you want, and you don't know what's going on for that person that you're actually not getting on with that day anyway, do you? So just it just evolves, and everybody's there for each other, and because it's just too much competition and too much climbing to the top of career ladders and trying to be like men to do that, and then the men, the podcast I was listening to was still about women CEOs. There's still only 20% but they would be women CEOs at like 56, and then after that we're just invisible and kind of, and even getting to that is hard enough, and it's male dominated, and it's still, unfortunately, there's still a lot of that, a lot, and so it's tough for us. So as women, we need to stick together. Why aren't we sitting? That's what we need to do.
Yeah,
because we need to survive ourselves. We need to thrive, and it's not so long ago that we got we didn't get the vote. We got the vote. What else could we not do years ago that we can do now? But not that long ago. All sorts.
Couldn't go to school. Couldn't get any kind of further education.
God. And you forget that, don't you? Because you think you've got... And then sometimes I think we can do too much, and then really, do I just want to be a wife at home with the kids? I don't know. But no, I definitely like the choice. Balance, I think. But not being told that I can't do this or I can't do that, or I'm not worthy anymore because I'm not... in the media's eyes, this is this podcast that I'm not 20 years old and I'm not playing up to the patriarchy by looking like a page 3 girl, or... I think we bring wisdom and... at our age as well, I'm going on to age now, but as the women as a community, so that what I'm saying is nobody should be feeling visible either. Do you know, we should all be supporting each other wherever stage of life we're at.
Yes.
And not feel, so we shouldn't be invisible, and it's not a midlife crisis, it's a midlife catalyst.
Yeah, an awakening.
I've never been happier than I am at my age,
Wonderful.
And this is the catalyst.
Yeah.
This is the awakening.
It's you fulfilling the things that you've always wanted to do, and the fact that both you and Rhea had put this together, that you've got a community online as well, that you both have charities that are supported.
Vulnerable
the fact you're getting sponsorship for all of those things just speaks reams about the good that you're doing. Keep it up.
And I'm skint. No, this is another thing. Yeah, I have what I need. Whereas years ago, I would chase all of this. So it is a real big thing here. I have community. I live on my own, but I have a community of women around me. I was at London the other week. I'm here today. I'm doing something else. I've got food in my belly. I've got everything that I need.
Yes.
And more.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing what I'm passionate about and not chasing the next high, the next fix, the next in whatever way that or form that comes into. But I do have to, on a daily basis, remember that and ground myself. And I have to work on myself with meditation and podcasts and helping others. And I do that. So it's reap what you sow, isn't it, as well? It's like be a role model, be an example.
Yeah. Yeah. I think ultimately, as humans, we get most out of life when we are giving.
Definitely.
Without expectation of anything in return.
Yeah, without expectation is key.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Well, hopefully I shall get to your event. I know I can't come this year, and I wish I could. But yeah, I'll be there next year.
Just share the...
I'll be there.
But please try and come one year.
Oh, I will. I'll be there. You ain't seen the last of me, darling.
Brilliant.